Vishal, is it your screen? Okay. Can you go to default VPC and do a git pull?
Oh, sorry,
Satish,
I was in.
you can also go to default VPC and do a git pull. We are looking
I
at.
did I did my git pull, Shankar.
Okay.
Okay.
Do a git pull once again and see you have a up to date.
Shankar, I have also did just before.
Okay, sure. Fine.
It is up to date now.
Okay, you can do a edit of the TF-vars file by just going to the CLW alarm dash EC2
Okay.
CD CLW, yeah, and do a ls VA of email.tfvars.
Oh,
Most of the times in your organization, when you are working on a particular project, you will have a .tfvars file which will contain environment related information. If it is QA related, all the variables will be there. That will be used when you are running it against a QA environment. So like that, the usual structure will be there if you're following CI/CD. Okay. The email ID in your this one will be pointing to a variable. You can look at the sns.tf. Can you do a cat sns.tf?
SNS.tf, Shankar.
Yeah, can you do a ls? Can you do a ls so that you understand what files are there first?
Okay.
Yeah, you
Got it.
have sns.tf, right? You can see
Oh,
that var dot notification underscore email endpoint,
okay.
right? That is nothing but notification underscore email in the TF-vars file. Hope it's clear to people, everyone.
Got it, Shankar.
Yeah, if you look at the topic ARN also, can you highlight the topic underscore ARN? When you're creating SNS topic subscription. Yeah. If you highlight the SNS topic ARN, it is like AWS underscore SNS underscore topic dot CPU underscore alarm underscore topic dot ARN. That is nothing but just 3 lines above. We are creating a resource.
Okay.
Can you highlight that also? Yeah. So exactly that is how we should use the object notation to call the object and use a particular value. ARN is nothing but Amazon resource name. That is a full name of your object. The resource or a resource that is created in your AWS account. Every resource will have a ARN in your AWS account that is used sometimes in your resource creation. If you go quickly to your AWS console, if you have logged in, you can see that. Yeah. Can you go to any of the resource? Like, can you go to VPC? Open it in a new tab so that yeah, you can duplicate. Yes, you can open VPC. Click on the VPC, default VPC. Yeah, click on that VPC.
I mean,
Yeah, click on the VPC. Yeah. So if you scroll down, you may see that there is a ARN. Just simply type ARN and then find out is there a ARN for this.
No, sir.
Usually all the resources will have ARN, but I'm not sure really whether it has or not. You can go back to your git bash and then do a /deploy.sh for now. We'll see once resources are created, we can see the ARN for some of the resources. Okay, meantime, Srini, can you share your screen? If Srini is unavailable, okay, Srini is sharing the screen. Fine.
Yes, Shankar, I'm sharing.
Sure, sure. Can you press the hide option, whatever is there in the bottom of the screen? Okay, thank you. Just do a git pull and see whether you are able to pull the latest changes.
It is up to date.
Good. Okay, you updated your variables file. Can you open the vars file? No, no, from there only. vi email.tf vars.
So it is in that alarm.
Yeah,
See,
yeah, yeah. You have to go to CLW alarm dash etc. Now do a VI space email tab. Yeah, okay. You can now quickly do a /deploy.sh. Okay. Satish, Balu, and anyone wants to share his screen?
Shankar, is anything to do in that console or?
No, not required. At this point, you are good to go. There is no issue.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
I'm
you.
sharing, Shankar.
Sure. Click on the hide option. No, it is okay. You share only one window. That is fine for now. Okay. Can you modify the file? Email.tf vars. Go to insert mode and then delete it and then enter your email ID. So you can save the file. You can save the file :wq :wq. Enter. Yeah. Do a /deploy.sh. Enter. Okay. Balu, can you quickly share your screen? Okay. Just modify the information.
Yes, sir. I'm just modifying.
You can only, yeah. Many people are still trying to use mouse, find out whether they can do it, but it is not going to work. Just make sure you're used to use only the cursors. Only cursors will work inside your VA editor. Okay. Do a git git status and git log. Git status.
No, sir.
Git status. Git status. Status. Okay. So we just modified only one thing. Okay. Git log to understand what was the last commit from me. What are the different commit messages you have, different commits you have. Git log will show you the history of all the commits. See, if you look at that, add stress code to use a data script is the last one. I mean, which was
Yes,
done
sir.
tonight at 2308. You can see that, right? Can you highlight that?
Yes, sir.
That was the last commit that I made that has a unique commit ID as well as a commit message. And it tells you exactly what time it was added. So
Yes,
these are the things which are important in Git. You need to understand because this allows you to collaborate seamlessly within the team. You understand what was the last commit. Based on the commit message, you can do a Git diff also you can do. If you probably copy the commit ID, which is just bottom next to that, yeah. Can you copy only this four characters from the left? From the left, just four characters is okay. Four or five characters. From the left, not from the right. Yeah. Just press Q for now. Q. Q. Do a git diff. Git space diff space right click. So this will show the difference between your current and that particular commit ID. So this is also another important thing that you understand how you can see what changes made from that commit. Yeah, just do enter, just enter. You could see that what was added before and then later what was modified. All of those things you can get to see by just looking at the plus and minus. Plus will be always in green, minus will be always in red. Whatever is removed, it will be in red. So I was just trying to modify from periods 3 to 1 and then 80% to 70% because I tested once for 3 out of 3 but it didn't work. I waited for a long time. And you also see your local changes, that is baluvenkatesh25 at gmail.com. That changes also you could see from the other commit. Okay, just press Q to come out of this. Yeah, do a dot slash deploy.sh. Okay. You don't need to type it completely. That's what I'm saying. Delete everything, delete everything. Dot slash D tab
No, sir.
E and tab. So you see that there are two options coming. Now
Yes, sir.
it has to be uniquely matched. Until then, you have to use some other characters, whatever is matching your file. Okay. Ball, you can stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
Ganesh, Ganesh, are you there in the call?
Yeah, Shankar.
Yeah. Share your screen.
Some network issue.
Okay. Okay, fine. You can also do a git diff. Okay, can you just scroll up? Scroll up. What is the message that you're getting? Git pull, it is aborting, right? Okay, email.pf files only, it is aborting. Okay, can you do a git pull once again? Because you don't have the latest changes. Ganesh, you can do a git pull once again. Yeah, you're still getting the same problem, right? What you can do is you can move this file to temp. Move email.tf as mv email tab slash tmp slash tmp. Yeah, fine, enter. Use up arrow, remove the tmp slash tmp. Remove. Yeah, remove the slash also. And come to the first line, first character. Remove the mv and then put git checkout. Git checkout. Yes, enter. Now you are freshly checking out that particular file since it was missing, and now you do a git pull. It'll update all the files in your repository. Do a git pull once again to understand everything is up to date. You're supposed to get a message up to date. Okay, now do a mv space slash tmp, mv slash tmp. No, you have to do it. You have to do it. mv slash tmp slash e and tab. E, type e and tab. Okay, em. There are many other files. Em tab, yeah. Dot in the end to copy to the current folder. Yeah, this will rewrite the file, whatever you have copied. Enter, dot and enter. Now do a git diff. It will show you the difference what that you added one file. Git diff. Yeah. Now you can do a dot slash deploy.sh. Okay. Thing is, see, others would have already observed the alarm is already generated. Is it true? Kushal, Satish, Paul.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, generated for me.
Okay. Um, any guesses how we have done it?
Through Terraform itself, like yesterday we were using CLI of the
Yeah.
EC2 to create the stressor. Now we have included that in the Terraform file.
Right. Terraform file, that's okay. But where exactly it is part of? Okay. I'll share my screen. I'll quickly explain.
Are we running it as a shell script?
Yeah, it is as a shell script, but it is called as user data.
Yeah, user data. Yes.
Correct. All of you are able to understand um, what I'm saying. Kushal, Satish, Paulu, and Srini. I'll share my screen. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, Shankar.
Yes.
Now all of you can mute yourself. I'm going to AWS console. I'm going to show you how exactly we can do the same thing from console, AWS console, if you log in. when you go to EC2, if you click on launch instances, launch instance, if you go all the way bottom, you can see advanced details. So in that, there is an option to put user data. So you could see that, right? User data optional. So if you click on info, you'll understand what you are supposed to do. Specify user data, provide commands or command script to run when you launch your instance. This will be a base64 encoded when you launch your instance unless you select user data. So basically, it is supposed to be a shell script that you can write it like this: /bin/bash, and then say echo, this is my test. So this will get executed when you initialize your instance, when you start your instance. I mean, when you deploy a new instance, create a new instance. Basically, if you want to install some packages, you can say yum install vim telnet docker. Like that, you can mention everything one by one. So this will be automatically executed when you create an instance before it is available for you. Hope it is clear for people. One of you can unmute and speak.
Yeah.
Yes, Shankar.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the same thing we'll be doing it from Terraform by just using a user underscore data keyword. I mean, that's a module that we are going to call. So that again, I'll show it from the GitLab itself so that, I mean, it is more visible to you guys. I'll go to default VPC. I go to the main.tf in the CLW alarm 2. If I go to main.tf, you could see that there is something changed in the main.tf. Here, if you see on line number 77, what do you guys see? Divya, can you unmute and say?
So there's a folder called data. In that you have a shell script called stress where those commands are present. So you are providing that as a user data for the EC2 instance.
Exactly. So we wrote a shell script and then we are pointing that to that shell script using the file keyword. So user data is a um, command or the option to get the file input for running the shell script. Now I'm just going back to the shell script and the data folder. Data folder, if I go to stress.sh, you could see that exactly whatever we were doing manually yesterday, that I'm putting it in your user data. And one more thing is the user data is executed as a root user. You don't have to put sudo here. That you have to clearly see. But the same thing that if you want to copy and then put it in your command line, you are supposed to do sudo yum install stress-ng because as a normal user, you cannot do a yum install. These commands you can run it on your user login. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, Shankar, understood.
Okay. Now the thing is, I want you to add a dashboard for this instead of you creating dashboard manually from the console. Can you all work on creating a dashboard script for the same and then you can just use ChatGPT, it is fine. You can use ChatGPT and put your code for dashboard, creating the same dashboard and try to understand the script, whatever you are getting it from the ChatGPT. We have another 3 minutes left for this meeting. After that, we'll connect after 10 minutes.
Sure.
Time,
Sure.
you guys try to figure out how to add a Terraform code for dashboard, CloudWatch dashboard. So like this, you can search CloudWatch dashboard, Terraform file, or EC2 instance, CPU, metrics. So this will show you the dashboard file that you can just copy paste. You have to ignore the provider because you're not going to be using provider. Provider will be duplicate. So variable, you have to put instance ID. That instance ID, you need to make sure how you get the instance ID in your code. Okay, clear? So instead of var.instance ID, it should be your instance ID, how you created. For example, if you look at this one, how you're creating instance. If you go to main.tf, you're creating the instance like this, AWS underscore instance dot my EC2 dot instance ID. So you see the public IP, right? Like that, we are supposed to call you. I mean, you are supposed to call it AWS underscore instance dot my underscore EC2 dot instance ID. That is how you are going to call here. Instead of var dot EC2 underscore instance dot ID. This you can put it if the instance is already created and it is available for you. That time you can hard code the value here, then you can use it in a variable. Hope you can just give it a try. After 10 minutes, we'll connect back in the same link and we'll try to figure out how you can do it. Any other explanation required with respect to the code that I have done yesterday? Is everybody clear? Srini, Kushal?
Yes, Shankar, yes.
I'm just looking, Shankar.
Okay, fine. The task for you now is you have to create a dashboard code into the same repository. Paste dashboard.tf like this. If you go to your repository link, you just create a vim dash.tf and then put the code whatever is copied from browser from your ChatGPT. And then just do a /deploy.sh. Just try to figure out what is happening, what the issues are coming.